it's CatPurrade. Welcome back to another video. Today I am bringing you a video that I am very excited for. As most of you probably know, Breath of the Wild came out a couple weeks ago, maybe, I guess it's about a month at this point, and I have already finished it, as I think a lot of people have. It's not a super long game, so sorry if you hear any background noise. There's some people running around my apartment even though it's 12:30 in the morning, but yeah, sorry about the noise. But yeah, as if you haven't guessed by the title, I have decided to build a house from Tarrey Town. Now, spoilers ahead if you haven't played the game, so you can skip ahead a little bit. I'll put in the description where I stop talking about some of this. But after you buy your house in Hatena Village in Tarrey, you get to help Hudson create a new town, and this is just one of the basic designs for Tarrey Town that I decided to go with. I was super excited when I thought of the idea because I would say Breath of the Wild is now one of my all-time favorite games, if not my favorite game. And my other favorite, if not my favorite, is The Sims. So it was really fun to be able to bring both of them together a little bit and kind of combine them. But I wanted to, and I really wanted to challenge myself because I thought, man, this could be really interesting because of the way that those houses are designed. Now, the outside, I would say, is pretty true to form, in my opinion. You got the squares and rectangles. I tried to do the border on the up and on all sides, and I tried to do as much of the deck as I could, and the landscaping to a degree with what I had available. But the inside is where I took some liberties. I kept the house very basic in the inside, and there's not a lot of clutter or decoration, which at first I was worried it was going to come off a little bit lazy, but I assure you it was not out of laziness. It was out of I really wanted to keep it like not modern, but I also wanted it to be a functional house for a sim to live in. So it has a bathroom, it has a kitchen, things that the houses in Tarrey Town do not have. But I tried to keep it as close to not modern as I could, but still has the modern functionality, I guess. So I did try to I didn't include a television, but there is space in there for you to renovate the inside if you just want the inside or the outside to look like a house in Tarrey Town. That's possible. So that is an option for you. As with all my builds, except for maybe the exception of a few, this is available on the gallery. You can just look up Tarrey Town, and it should pop up for you. I also tagged it as Zelda and Breath of the Wild and all that good stuff, so there's a lot of options for you to find it on there. I also will link it down below for you to look up on the not in-game gallery, but which you can go ahead and download from there, and it'll download into your game the next time that you open up The Sims 4. So that was pretty much all of the outside at that point. That was it. I take that back, actually. The wallpaper that you see on the outside now is not what I finally go with, which you can probably tell by the thumbnail. And because I really wanted to go with that wood board style that Tarrey Town has, but I don't it just didn't look good. And this is where I kind of decided that I needed to do something a little different, and the colors weren't correct. The red was right, but the blue and the green were too pastel, and I don't know, they just bothered me. I didn't like them as much. So here I'm just getting in these pillars now. The only thing is obviously the ratio is a little bit different in The Sims 4. So it was a little hard to get it correct. I did do my best. Oh, you probably just heard some water splash. That was my cat knocking over her water bowl. Sorry about that. But anyways, so the ratio is a little bit different. So I did my best, but it definitely, there are some parts that are a little bit bigger than they should be or smaller than they should be, but you know how it is. It's going from one game to another. It's not going to be perfect. But yeah, this is where I decided to redo the wallpaper. And now you're going to notice that because those bars on the side were gone from the wallpaper, I needed to add in those pillars, which was fine until, as you can see there, I was having such a hard time getting those pillars to place correctly, and I still think that I was missing one, and I eventually had to give up because I think I cut out part of the where I was struggling with it, because it was, I think I spent like 30 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration, just trying to get those dang pillars to work. But yep, they just they're very stubborn. And if you guys have any tips on that, I would love that, because I've always had trouble getting the pillars to kind of behave for me. So starting with the kitchen here, I put this where the bedroom was, I believe, in the original house in Tarreytown. Again, try to use some older appliances. Obviously, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but I did try to kind of get in some vintage inspired objects, but I really wanted to keep it very basic as to not make it look too modern. And because the furnishings in the Tarreytown houses are actually very barren, but they seem very full because of the size ratio in Zelda, which I'm sure that if any of you have played it, you will definitely know what I'm talking about. But this is not the final kitchen design. I did realize at the very end that there was not a bathroom, so I had to go in and add it, and I had to sacrifice that little bar stool area, which I was really bummed about because I thought it was quite cute. I do realize now that I'm thinking about it that I probably could have added in a small bathroom over here beside the stairs, but you'll see why I didn't later on. But here I'm just trying to find a bookshelf that was low enough to go under this window, and then I finally decided to just do this book cart, which was it worked for what I needed. Oh, this is interesting too. As I was decorating, I wanted to put in some paper lanterns because that's very Zelda, and I thought that was like, it would work really well, which is kind of why I used the lamps that I did on the ceilings. But anyways, there's no lanterns for your Sims, which I thought was strange. I had to go with these candles, as you can see right there. They work for what they needed to work for, but yeah, I was a little disappointed. So then I decided to go ahead and do like a full living room. Again, I didn't put a TV in. Wanted to keep it as kind of vintagey and old time as I could. But I do think that there's totally room here for one. You could just move that table over and plop a TV on it and be done with it if you didn't want to mess with it too much. But there are options. So moving on to the upstairs here, just getting the wallpaper in. The upstairs is particularly barren, and it's just because there's just not a lot of room up there. This is an only one bedroom house. I just didn't think that there really could be an extra space up there for much more than that. There is a really large balcony though, which if I was building on my own, would have been significantly smaller, but I wanted it to look authentic on the outside, so I left it as is. I did take a couple artistic liberties from here on out. I think even bending it more and more. Yeah, this is where I was like, wait, there's not a bathroom. So I went ahead and my final resting spot for it was right here. It is not a full cube size, I guess is like what I would call it, because it really didn't need to be. There's 3 objects in the room, and there's not like, it's really no fuss. I tried very hard to make it very basic, and I think that gets through. One of my big design choices for this house was lots of wood, because that's just totally Tarreytown to me. It seemed very like homey and, you know, like cozy, and that just screamed wood to me, and I guess that's what I went with. So yeah, here's where I kind of put some, you know, benches and a little seating area out the front, or on the balcony rather. I just thought that would be, you know, it's nice to have some options, but there's plenty of room on that balcony to throw a hot tub or, God, whatever you really want your Sims to be able to do. You've got room, you just need to, you know, get it there. But yeah, we're moving on to screenshots now, and this is the living room. Again, really barren, no photos, no clutter, barely any rugs. I felt weird. It felt weird taking the screenshots because it seemed so like desolate, but I also wanted it to have that kind of just raw feeling, so I hope I came across well. But yeah, when you're in the end here, so I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!